Good morning, HikeTalkers. Hey, Big D here. Woo, what an awesome, beautiful day. Killer workout yesterday. Got 10 miles in. Actually had super fun. 2 amazing phone calls in the morning, and those phone calls actually, while I like to multitask, actually I went 9 miles on those 2 phone calls, so that was pretty awesome. And I guess in the beginning I did listen to some training, some podcast training I'm working on, and then did some of my own creation. And then I realized, hey, after 9 miles I hadn't done my lunge workout, so I had to get that in. So I took the headset off and got the lunge count in, which is 50 on the downhill here, and then walk the corner on the bottom, if you will, and then 60 up on the uphill, and then walk around the top, and then do 3 sets of that. So that was actually my 10th mile, and man, I still had energy to burn. Went in the studio, had an amazing training session yesterday. I'm so stoked. My daughter's on our team, and I'm just super pumped about helping her, guiding her, and more importantly, I'm super excited about all the amazing talent that she's going to add to my life and help me in all the areas that I'm weak, or I should say not strong, that aren't my strengths. So we worked in the studio for, 6 hours, stood almost the whole time, teaching, training, got great content in. But just want to let you know that, man, that challenge, that green juice challenge, changed my life. And it's so awesome to constantly be in the pursuit of excellence, being grateful, the forgiveness every day, having our GFCI model, right, which is how we develop that emotional strength to overcome the challenges of the day, and just to focus on winning. Focus on how can I help other people, how can I help myself. So, did you get your gratitude in today? Did you get your forgiveness in today? You committed to yourself, you committed to your life, your family, your community, making a difference? And are you intentional every day? And when you get those 4 components, the GFCI model, you will ultimately develop amazing emotional health, that you'll recognize that, hey, you are enough. I want you to say that to yourself. I am enough. Right? There was a movement that kind of went viral out there about, said, I am enough. That's such a great line. I am enough. Because I think most of us for so many years told ourselves that we weren't enough, that we couldn't do it, because we were programmed by a bunch of other people, kept telling us that we weren't good enough, we were too fat, too ugly, too short, too tall, too big a nose, too small a nose, too big a ears. You know, when I was a fat kid, I had bigger boobs than most of the girls. Man, that's not something you want to hear as a man, as a young man, right? Because you don't feel like a young man. You feel like a weirdo, a freak. So all those emotional trauma, all that emotional trauma, if you will, I had as a child, I had to figure out how to overcome it, move through it, recognize that all that pain of the past is absolutely my strength today. And yours can be too. But you got to develop that super solid emotional strength. And you're only going to do it through that amazing concept called nutrition and physical activity. There's a beautiful formula in our health model, and we call it ESPN, emotional sleep, right? We constantly have had spiritual in there, but we move spiritual over to the emotional, under emotional, because it fits much better in that category. It's a better way to teach it and understand it. But the one thing is, I taught in other components of our training is about this concept of sleep and how powerful it is. And I think it's just so powerful in a person's life. Somebody helped me with that. That changed my life like to the nth degree. Focus on getting sleep. So I thought it was way more important at this point to help somebody get all that emotional strength through replenishing the body, nutrients, physical activity, sleep, and that all these components develop that emotional strength. And that nutrition is such a huge part of it, because you're not going to think clearly if your body's constantly trying to overcome all these toxins and processed foods that we're sticking into our system every day. And I know we hear about this stuff all the time, but when are we going to actually do something about it? When are we going to actually change? And that's why that green juice challenge was such an amazing thing for me, because I realized that I was really, even though I got a lot of energy, I was just falling off sharp at the end of the day. It wasn't even the end of the day. It was like, halfway, right? If I'm going to bed pretty consistent at 10 o'clock every night, then I still got 5 hours, man. What am I going to do in 5 hours? And yeah, you got to have that break. You got to have that downtime, that takedown time, but not to, sit in my big old lazy boy and at 5 o'clock and fall asleep. That ain't right. Sometimes it is. You got to take care of yourself, but I'm saying it's on a standard basis. If you look at a little bit macro, a little more macro there, that you realize that if you don't have this just insane energy all day long, you got to ask yourself, why not? What's going on in your system? What's going on in your life? How much stress, how much pain, how much suffering is going on? And for me, it was a lot. And my escape back in the day was to jump in a bottle and live, in that altered state. And that was my cure, if you will, and along with tons of food, was my cure for all that pain. And I don't want you to feel pain. I want you to feel energized. And when you recognize something's coming at you, you can start seeing, and you have this tremendous awareness that these things that are happening in your life are signs, and you got to learn to pick up the signs. If you're consistently tired, what's going on in your system? You consistently have some type of allergy, what's going on in your system? What's going on in your house? What's going on in the environment? You got to pay attention to these signs. And if you're not sharp-minded and clear thinking, you're not going to make the changes you need to really enjoy your life, to really have an amazing, joyful, happy life. So it's pretty interesting when you start, I'm a tool builder by trade, and eventually I realized that that's really my strength, is helping people get the right tool in their life. And many times with so many individuals I work with, that they don't have the right tools, and the tools that are available aren't the right ones for them. And so I love building tools, helping people understand how to go and get some off-the-shelf tools, if you will. And these could be digital, physical, emotional thinking tools, right? And how to package them properly. That freaked me out a little. I don't know if you can see this little dude right here. What are you doing there, little guy? He ran right across the tip of my boot. What's crazy, isn't it? Like, hey, my fight or flight kicks in. I get that little heart palpitation. Get something going because something frightened me. But hey, it could settle right back down. It wasn't something that was going to hurt me. Just got to be careful because we have wildcats running through our woods here a period of time ago. So of course you have that. Got that in my mind. And then hiking over our cabin region, I always have those kind of thoughts. But I'm generally not packing. You know what I'm saying? While I'm hiking on my own property. So anyway, so recognize that to make significant changes in your life, and really just to shift and to stay committed and focused, is you got to have clear thinking. And if you're not continuously working on how to drive yourself, how to push yourself, how to move into this new state of clear thinking, clear and critical thinking, life's going to be tough, right? So how do we get that clear thinking? This is what I consider concepts of this health model and this health module is to make sure that your emotional state is solid, and you got to get all the components in, because remember, our life's integrated. There isn't going to be one thing that's going to make a significant change. It's the one thing that leads to the next thing that leads to the next thing. So there's a one thing that's the catalyst that gets you rolling, but then you got to combine it. You have to integrate it with all of your life, all the various aspects of your life, because eventually one's going to come along that you put a lot more weight to, a lot more attention to, and it'll derail you. And this happens to all of us. And I'm telling you, when you can start to learn and build tools in this machine up here, and you get to this point where you just feel like you're absolutely bulletproof. It doesn't mean stuff doesn't, comes into your life that you've never experienced and you can't handle, but you learn the vast majority of things in your life that most people would have a meltdown over. You start developing this strength, this absolute strength that you've never understood that you had, right? You have teams of people around you, an amazing association around you that is rock solid and has your back. Have amazing mentors in your life that anytime you can make a phone call, and it doesn't matter day or night, whether you're in jail or wherever you are, that they're going to bail you out. You know that they got your back. And that's what I want for you so bad. Clear thinking and amazing relationships, beautiful health in your life. So just want to let you know that we talk about various little single little tools, and what's amazing to me is all over the webosphere that we were doing these short little clips and like, hey, here's that little nugget and you can take it and go do something with it. But most of the time you don't really understand how the nugget or the thing integrates with the rest of your life. Therefore, you haven't built the model or the story around it in your life. And with these quick little tiny snippets that people are dropping, they're not seeing the full circle on, hey, if I focus all my time and energy over here, what's my result going to be? That's fantastic, but at what cost to other things? So you got to make sure that the new thing that comes into your life becomes an integrated step into the other aspects of your life. So I wanted to leave you with that. I'm super pumped. Green Juice Challenge has been amazing. Epiphany for me. Just when I think I've got a new, I got some some good head. Excuse me. Just when I think I've got a lot of things figured out and life is good, and I love amazing people around me that are constantly challenging me and helping me grow and move through the level I'm at. And the beautiful part is when you recognize that you need to start making a change, many times it's too late. I mean, it's not too late to change. It's that, hey, somehow I'm already going backwards and I lost that forward momentum. And my mission and my role today in my life is building world-class people, world-class entrepreneurs. And the only way to do that is to help somebody consistently learn to get out of their own way, where you go to your mentors, you go to your guides on a consistent basis, but you realize that we're teaching you how to become very resourceful and solve your own problems along the way, and then consistently go and get guidance and counsel. But we want to make sure that you learn to rely on yourself, because you're the only one that knows you. Man, that little chippy's back. Tried to get me again. So hey, this is Big D. I'm so excited for you. So excited for life. And I know you can do it if you just commit. Get your gratitude, your forgiveness, commitment, and intention for the day. And let's go get them.